How will you describe the life of a regular day for a leader, for a person like you?
Regular day for a leader, I think a lot of it is spent talking to people, listening, trying to understand what they are thinking, trying to understand what they are feeling, and all the time thinking of how can I help them do their job better. I see that as an important responsibility of a leader, that if I can help my people do their job better, if I can help them succeed in whatever they do, then I will be able to accomplish a lot more than simply having my own ideas and telling them what to do.
You are a member of the group of the founding fathers of Singapore. Before the independence, there were crises in the country, and later on it became, in just one generation, the country that is today. I mean, the country that we know, a strong country with strong concepts of honor and cultural values. And as you have mentioned, you have gone through most of the important ministries in the country. You learn from acting how to become a leader. So from all those ministries, which was the one that you felt your policies were executed the way you wanted? Which one of them was the best according to your views?
I would say that the ministry I had the most influence over was the Ministry of Defense. It was not only a matter of working in the Ministry of Defense, but in the Ministry of Defense, it was like a big experimental base. And there I began something called the Ministry of Defense Productivity Movement, where we experimented and developed ways by which we developed systems for innovation and systems by which people at all levels were able to contribute suggestions on how to improve their work and how to improve the ministry. In the Ministry of Defense, I also developed a personnel system where we measured the potential of every officer in the ministry, as meaning we looked at each officer and asked ourselves how far up he can go in the hierarchy by the time he retires. This gives us an indication of the talent pool that we have. It allows us to do succession planning. It allows us to be more focused in the way that we develop people. When I left the Ministry of Defense and went to the civil service, I took the same idea, and that's why the civil service in Singapore has a system where they annually assess the potential of their people. And for example, when I was in Ministry of Education, we ran an advertising program where we talked about teachers molding the future of the nation, so that teachers are raised in their standing in the eyes of the public as people who have a critical role to look after the young, to look after the students that come under their charge, to make them the best possible, and in that way teachers have a direct impact on the future of the nation. So from all these experiences in Ministry of Defense, I experimented with ideas which then became useful for implementing for the whole of government and not just in the Ministry of Defense. The thing that really impressed me about teachers was that teachers do the best that they can to help their students develop to be the best people or the most knowledgeable people possible. And therefore, teachers have this sense of mission and purpose such that if their students become better than them, if their students exceed them, the more the students exceed them, the more successful the teacher is. And to me, this is a very important idea of leadership in any organization. That every leader in an organization should always look out for the people that work with them and the people that work under them to help everyone succeed the best way possible. And if there are people under them who will overtake them because they are better than them, then that is the right thing to do. And we should all, as leaders, really help our people be the best possible so that the organization or the country can best benefit from the talents and the abilities of their people.
With this CV of yours, then you have created many movements, the CARE movement, the GEES movement, the principles and the challenges and all that. Is there any room for something more?
Oh, I'm sure there is room for something more. I must tell you, for example, recently I talked to people about how do we create innovative organizations? How do we bring organizations to be creative, to take change and make them improve all the time? And I say, what you need is to have the H. In English, H is ITCH, okay? ITCH stands for imagination, tenacity, courage, and humility. I say that if you want an innovative organization, you need to have the H. You need to have the imagination of thinking of new ways of doing things. You need to have the tenacity so that you keep pushing for your new ideas to get through. You need to have courage because you need to be able to change things. You need to be able to do things which other people may not have done before. But you need to have courage to do the new things. And finally, you need to have humility to be able to learn from your mistakes, the humility to learn from other people, the humility to listen to what other people are thinking. I start with the idea that every one of us wants to be successful. That is how we feel good about ourselves. That is how we build up our self-confidence. So if everyone wants to be successful, then we should create working conditions such that everyone has a chance to be as successful as possible. And if we are the supervisors or managers, then we should all the time be thinking about how can we help our people succeed the best way possible. Everyone can be a leader, because my definition of a leader is someone who makes things happen which on their own would not happen. I believe people at every level in an organization, if they were to look out and say, how can they make things better? How can they improve on their work? How can they help other people around them be successful in their job? If we have that kind of an attitude, then we'll always be looking out to see how we can improve things. And in that way, we are going to make good things happen, which on their own would not happen. The country we are born in, the country whose passport we carry, is a country that gives us identity, and at the end of the day, it's a country that gives us the opportunity to succeed, an opportunity to rise up, let's say, in our quality of life, the opportunity to rise up in terms of our ability to realize our potential.